Brian Shaffer was a young man on the cusp of a bright future. A second-year medical student at Ohio State University, Brian excelled in his studies. He was known for his intelligence, his quiet determination, and his kind heart. He had a close-knit family who loved him dearly. Life was good. He had everything to look forward to. Brian was particularly close to his mother, Renee. They shared a special bond, a deep understanding that transcended words. His girlfriend, Alexis, was the love of his life. They had big plans for the future, a future that seemed tantalizingly within reach. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. On March 31, 2006, Brian and his friends went out to celebrate the start of spring break. They had been looking forward to this night for weeks, planning every detail to ensure it would be a memorable evening. It was a typical Friday night for college students in Columbus, Ohio. The streets were alive with energy, filled with students eager to unwind after a grueling week of exams and assignments. The bars were packed, the music was loud, and the mood was celebratory. Everywhere you looked, there were groups of friends dancing, laughing, and enjoying the freedom that comes with the start of a break. Brian, usually a quiet and reserved young man, seemed to be enjoying himself. His friends noticed a rare smile on his face, a sign that he was letting loose and having a good time. He started his night at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular campus bar. Known for its lively atmosphere and affordable drinks, it was a favorite spot among students. He drank with his friends, laughing and joking as they caught up after a long week of classes. The camaraderie was palpable, and the group was in high spirits. Around midnight, Brian left the Ugly Tuna and headed to a different bar with a friend. They decided to explore more of the vibrant nightlife that Columbus had to offer. He seemed happy, carefree, unaware that these were the last carefree moments he would ever know. Little did he know, this night would take a turn that no one could have predicted, leading to a mystery that would haunt his friends and family for years to come. At 1:55 a.m., security cameras captured Brian entering the Ugly Tuna Saloona once again. He was alone this time. He could be seen talking to two young women, seemingly engaged in conversation. He ordered a drink, he glanced at his watch, and then, he was gone. The footage showed no sign of Brian leaving the bar. He didn't exit through the front door. He wasn't seen leaving through any of the side exits. It was as if he had simply vanished into thin air. The mystery of Brian Shaffer's disappearance began in those silent, grainy frames of security footage. It was a mystery that would haunt his family, baffle investigators, and captivate the nation. The next morning, Brian didn't show up for a planned trip to see his mother. This was completely out of character for him. He never missed a chance to see his mom. Renee knew in her heart that something was terribly wrong. She immediately contacted the police and reported her son missing. The police initially treated Brian's disappearance as a missing person case. They searched his apartment but found no signs of foul play. His car was still parked where he had left it. His phone went straight to voicemail. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. The search for Brian Shaffer intensified, but the young medical student seemed to have vanished without a trace. The police followed every lead, but each one seemed to lead to a dead end. They interviewed Brian's friends, classmates, and anyone who might have seen him on the night of his disappearance. They scoured the area surrounding the Ugly Tuna Saloona, using cadaver dogs to search for any sign of Brian. They even searched nearby dumpsters, fearing the worst. The search efforts were extensive, but they yielded no concrete answers. Brian's disappearance remained a haunting mystery, a puzzle with missing pieces that no one seemed to be able to find. The lack of evidence only deepened the mystery. It was as if Brian had simply ceased to exist. As months turned into years, the case grew colder, the once fervent search for answers dwindling into a mere whisper of its former self. But the whispers about what happened to Brian Shaffer grew louder. Theories abounded, each one more unsettling than the last, as if the darkness itself was feeding on the mystery. Some speculated that Brian had been the victim of a random act of violence, a tragic encounter with a stranger that ended in his sudden disappearance. Others believed he was snatched from the crowded bar without a trace, vanishing into the night as if swallowed by the shadows. The bar, once a place of laughter and camaraderie, now held an eerie silence, its patrons haunted by the memory of that fateful night. Some whispered about the possibility of a serial killer operating in the area, a predator lurking in the darkness, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One Particularly chilling theory linked Brian's disappearance to the smiley face killer, a suspected serial killer believed to be responsible for the deaths of several young men who had disappeared from bars. These young men, much like Brian, were last seen enjoying a night out before vanishing without a trace, only to be found drowned in bodies of water days or even weeks later. The smiley face killer theory was never proven, but it added a sinister layer to the already perplexing case, casting a long shadow over the investigation. Detectives pored over the evidence, re-examining every detail, hoping to find a clue that had been overlooked, a piece of the puzzle that would finally bring clarity. But as time went on, the case remained unsolved, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday life. In the years since Brian's disappearance, investigators have turned to technology for answers. They have analyzed cell phone records, hoping to find a digital breadcrumb trail that might lead them to Brian. They have scoured social media, searching for any clue that might shed light on his whereabouts. But the digital world has offered few answers. Brian's case has become a digital mystery, a labyrinth of data that seems to hold the key to his disappearance, but refuses to reveal its secrets. The internet, once a source of hope for finding missing persons, has become a frustrating reminder of the case's enduring mystery. One of the most perplexing aspects of Brian Shaffer's disappearance is the silence of his friend, Clint. Clint was the last known person to see Brian alive. He was with Brian at the Ugly Tuna Saloona on the night of his disappearance. But Clint has refused to cooperate with the police investigation. He has never spoken publicly about that night. His silence has fueled speculation and suspicion, casting a long shadow over the case. Some believe that Clint knows more than he is letting on. Others believe that he is simply protecting himself. Whatever the reason for his silence, it has only deepened the mystery surrounding Brian's disappearance. Renee Shaffer has never given up hope of finding her son. She has dedicated her life to keeping his memory alive and to searching for answers. She has appeared on countless news programs, podcasts, and documentaries, pleading for anyone with information to come forward. Her strength and resilience in the face of unimaginable loss are a testament to the power of a mother's love. She knows that someone out there knows what happened to her son. She will not rest until she finds out the truth. More than a decade after Brian Shaffer vanished from the crowded bar, his disappearance remains one of the most baffling missing person cases in recent history. The unanswered questions haunt investigators, torment his family, and fuel endless speculation. How could a young man simply vanish without a trace? Did he leave the bar unseen, or was he the victim of foul play? What does Clint know? And what role, if any, did the smiley face killer play in Brian's disappearance? These questions linger, a constant reminder of the mystery that continues to captivate and confound. The case of Brian Shaffer is a stark reminder that even in the age of technology and surveillance, people can still vanish without a trace. On that fateful night in April 2006, Brian was last seen entering a bar in Columbus, Ohio, but he never emerged. Despite extensive searches and countless hours of reviewing surveillance footage, no clues have surfaced to explain his disappearance. It is a chilling testament to the enduring power of mystery, the haunting reality that some questions may never be answered. The passage of time only deepens the enigma as each tick of the clock marks another moment without resolution. The fog of uncertainty shrouds the case, leaving investigators and loved ones grasping for answers in the dark. But even in the absence of answers, the search for truth continues. Law enforcement and volunteers have scoured forests, abandoned buildings, and every conceivable hiding place, hoping to uncover even the smallest piece of evidence. The dedication of those involved in the search is unwavering, driven by the hope that one day the light of truth will pierce through the darkness. Brian's case remains open, a constant presence in the minds of those who knew and loved him. His family holds vigils, keeping his memory alive and their hope burning. The emotional toll is immense, as each day without answers is a day filled with heartache and longing. The community rallies around them, offering support and solidarity in their time of need. It is a case that has captivated true crime enthusiasts, armchair detectives, and anyone who has ever grappled with the unknown. Online forums buzz with theories and speculation, as people from all walks of life try to piece together the puzzle. The intrigue surrounding Brian's disappearance has sparked countless discussions, each one a testament to the human desire to seek out the truth. The search for Brian Shaffer may have gone cold, but the hope of finding him, of bringing closure to his family and justice to whoever is responsible for his disappearance, burns bright. Cold case files gather dust, but they are not forgotten. Each file represents a life, a story, and a quest for answers that will never cease. The flame of hope is kept alive by those who refuse to give up. The mystery of Brian Shaffer endures, a haunting reminder that sometimes the truth is the most elusive thing of all. As the years pass, the shadows of doubt and uncertainty grow longer, but so does the determination to uncover the truth. The search for Brian is not just about finding a missing person, it is about seeking justice, closure, and peace for all those affected by his disappearance.